it's always hard when you lose, especially with our expectation and what we want to do week in and week out. But we've got to be able to use it. We've got to be able to go back. Bottom line is South Dakota Mines came out and they made more plays. So we've got to be able to take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. We've got to do a better job of creating our own breaks, and then learning how to apply that pressure and be consistent in everything that we do. I think our big word for the week was we have to be more consistent in execution and attention to the details. So it's been a good week. We've took a lot from that film and been able to learn from it. And we got to move forward. The focus remains again on us and what we do. So these guys have bought into that, and we're doing a good job this week of rebounding and coming out. We can't hold our heads. We just got to go to work, and we got to find a way to capitalize on opportunities and get better each day.
Keenan, for you, you've got to show in these first two games that you can get behind defenses pretty on a regular basis. You know, and you talked about on Saturday after the game that connection you and Karstaff. Just talk about facing the defenses when they know that you're the guy that they got to stop.
I would say, we just got a game plan every week, and we just go out there and we're going to run our stuff regardless of what the defense does. We scheme things up, and we basically just go out there and run our things and try to execute it.
And Hadyn, for you, what's one of the focuses on defense this week that you have to get better from your guys' second game moving into this game with Black Hills State?
Yeah. So I think a lot for us is alignment, just lining up in the right places, doing the right assignments when we need to, especially middle linebackers, scraping when we need to, filling when we need to, making tackles. And then one of the biggest things for us is just communication. I think we did a very good job of communicating, but when we started to see more adversity and then a lot more series, we started to not communicate as much, and this week we definitely need to put more communication.
Questions?
So, Keenan, Dave said, you can get behind guys. Is that one of those things when you kind of watch early on maybe who might be defending you in the backfield going, okay, this is a guy I can get behind, or is it just the route and you go from there?
I would say it's just the route mostly, or it's going back to just going out there and executing the game plan. Kind of just running what we run. If I feel like I may give Coach Donnell or somebody on the sideline a heads up and tell them, but mostly we just believe that we could do those things and stretch the ball down the field. We're a down the field offense, and we're going to stretch the ball down the field. So it's kind of how we just play things.
Miles, I'm guessing, obviously, looking at film showed you a lot from the weekend, but maybe adjusting some protection? Was it just a little bit of breakdown on the sacks?
Yeah, it kind of went both ways as you looked at it, Patty. We got to do a better job of getting the ball out on time. And then having our pocket awareness and be able to move and adjust in the pocket a little bit. But the biggest thing that it came down to was, hey, when I get my read, I got to be able to take it, and then I got to be able to find my outlet and be able to get rid of the ball. Yeah, we've got to do a better job protecting. We were out over our toes too much, lunged a few times, and let a free guy through. But a few of those are unforced, and we got to do a better job of having that clock in our head and having Cars be able to get rid of the ball, trusting the receivers, and I think they would all tell you, we can't take plays off, and that's where it goes to that consistency part of it. Each play has got to be like the first play of the game, where we're running by guys, we're full speed, 100 miles an hour, and then we really feel that our guys on the outside, like Keenan, can't be guarded. And he'd be the first one to tell you, we had opportunities to get behind him a couple more times, and we didn't execute on that. And it was just, when we have that confidence and we have all things clicking, it can be scary, but we got to get it there. We got to get that rhythm. And so it starts with the quarterback filling that pocket and doing a good job in there, but then also getting the ball out on time and then knowing when we can take our shots, and when we have a max protection on or they're only bringing 3, we got to do a good job and make sure that we execute on those.
Something that's been an issue these first 2 weeks
converting on third down, being able to keep the drives going? What have you been doing, in practice or just, in film, whatever, getting ready for week 3, converting on third down, keeping drives going, but points on board?
Yeah, so we made that a point of emphasis really these last 2 weeks, and we did a better job last week, but now that's got to take that next step in the progression as we go. So we've got to put ourselves in third and manageable. We've got to do a good job on first and second down. We've got to make sure that we win those down so that we're in a manageable third down. We kind of got away from running the ball, and we've got to do a better job at staying consistent in the run game, and that's all the way across the board, receivers blocking, but what we've done to get better, we've made that emphasis. We've had at least 2 periods of third downs the last couple of days as we go and get after it, just hitting all facets. And we've been doing that good versus good, so we get the tempo and the speed that we need to be able to go and execute on Saturday.
Hadyn, defensively, you guys have come out with your hair on fire, and then a couple times there were some breakdowns, and they got by you last weekend. Just a little more attention to detail, like Coach said, and making sure the communication is a little bit better throughout the game?
Yeah, I think it just goes back to consistency. We work so hard during the week, and we're always implementing so many things, and we know that we can do it, and it's just coming together and communicating and knowing that we have 11 guys on the field that can really do very great things. It's just putting it all together and repping it and just having consistency.
Both of you guys jumped to the transfer portal last year, and once you make that decision, is it one of those things where you're like, now I gotta go find a place to play once I decide that this isn't the place for me? Kind of what goes through? What do you go through when you go through the transfer portal?
Yeah, it can be kind of scary, but I knew what was here at Mesa, and I just knew right when I came here. I knew Coach A, Coach Kochevar, Coach Matthews, all of them. I just loved the dynamic. I loved all of them, and I loved being coached by every single one of them all day. And every day I come in, I want to watch film. I want to do all these things because they give us this great opportunity to play football, and I just knew it was the right place to be.
I would say the same thing. I felt something special going on here with Coach K, and I just felt home and really good about it, so made the decision to come here, and I feel like it was a great one.
You guys were both at D1 schools and, coming to a D2. Does it just kind of feel a little more, I don't know if it's settled or this is just a better place, a little more, you got 10 minutes to yourself every day?
Yeah, it's definitely more. I would say more organized, at least in a sense of time management, and you got some time on your hands to do some things like more school time. I would say more time for school and things like that. I personally think that I like it more here, than a bigger school because it's more focused, I would say, with everything and things like that.
Yeah, for me, it feels more like a family. I know I can text one of my coaches, and I text Coach A lot, and he's just a genuine person, and I feel like everybody just feels so genuine to me.
Well, you've had to look at the transfer portal, and kind of what is you look at as a coach and trying to talk to kids about going from a D1 to a D2, because sometimes it's you get that D1 dream, but
Well, we tell them if they want to play football at the highest level possible, that's what we're going to do day in and day out. We're going to coach them. This is our place, and this is our Division I. We're going to make the most out of it. We expect to win. We're not going to coach any different whether we were at Division I, whether we were in the NFL. We've got coaches with great experience that have been around football a long time. So for us, though, looking at the transfer portal, we're looking for guys that we have some sort of a relationship with or a background. And, with both of these guys, Keenan, he didn't even know, his high school coach is a great friend. and we had connections. So when he got in the transfer portal, he was the first one that contacted us and told us just about Keenan's character and what he could bring to the table. And then being at UNC when Hadyn was coming out of high school, we already had a relationship and had been through the recruiting process. So we're looking for those guys that are going to fit our mold. As we've talked about this and as we continue to build it, consistency, but being able to sustain greatness is what we want to do. And these guys got to be able to buy in, and it's not something that comes easy. And I think for us, and going back on this season and what happened last week, I think I forgot to remind the guys that winning is hard. And it's not going to just come to you. Nobody's going to give it to you. You got to go out and take it. So when we get to that recruiting process with the transfer portal, these guys understanding that expectation, that's one thing that I've tried to be very clear on. It's not going to be easy, and the grass isn't always greener, but we're going to give you the opportunity to grow, not only as a player, but as a man as well.
Question,
All right,
Chris?
question of the week.
Uh-oh.
If you guys could wear only one type of sneaker for the rest of your lives, what would it be?
I'll probably go Cortez's.
Oh, go ahead.
Probably something simple, basic. Probably something like Vans.
Vans.
I'm a Croc guy, so probably some Crocs or something like that. Some slides or something.